Hi guys, if you're like me, you like reading articles and news on your mobile device. My favourite app, if you've been following the blog on YouTube for a while now, is Google Currents, mostly because it syncs up to my Google account. I can save and read documents offline, and I think the layout's really pretty. They've just recently released an update to Google Currents, adding a long-awaited home screen widget, which I'm going to have a look at as well, and just some overall new functionality. So let's go ahead and have a look at the new Google Currents for Android. Let's take a look. Hi guys, so now we're going to take a look at the new Google Currents app for Android, and as you can see here I've got a really nice widget on my home screen which I'm going to have a look at in a second. So let's actually just go ahead and dive into the app itself. Now the basic app layout has kind of stayed the same, except for the kind of home screen of the app is very different. So you can see here we've got a very sort of YouTube, Google Plus-esque sidebar menu here, which categorizes all of our subscriptions into different sections. So we've got things like science and tech, we've got entertainment, we've got feeds. We can also now save stories, and I'll go into this in a second. And then we've just got all, which is very close to the traditional menu page which we had before. So let's go ahead and pull out the sidebar here, and let's go into the actual layout. So as you can see here, it's a very vertical interface. You'll notice that the last one was actually more of a horizontal, and this one is a fairly nice interface. Now, as you can see here, it's sort of, as you scroll down, it pulls up the stories from the bottom in a really nice sliding motion, and we can just click on one and go into the article. Now this is where the layout is pretty much identical to previous versions of Google Currents. There hasn't really been much of a change here. And of course we can still pull out the sidebar here, which will show other news from around this same source. And we've got this star button now, which allows us to save an article for offline. Now, you may be thinking, well, why does it allow you to save offline when Google Currents does save everything offline anyway? I personally think this is great for just saving stories you might want to look at later. There's a lot of times where I'd be reading something in Google Currents and I can't think of a way to save it other than just emailing a note to myself to say I'll remember to look at this document later or remember to blog about this later, but the star feature is really helpful for that now. Of course we can choose between different categories within each one, so we've got videos for example here on the Verge. Let's go back to here and let's go to CNET. So you can see CNET as well, very nice layout, just puts the articles really nicely. The font on these articles are absolutely gorgeous, they look really nice. And yeah, so essentially the application's very slick and sleek, if those two are the same words. We've got a couple of things, so we've got share, search articles, sync, which I'll show you in a second in the settings. You can set it up to enable background sync, download over Wi-Fi, and include images for offline reading. And you can even use translations as well, which is pretty cool if there's any foreign documents in here. Now of course the new application, as well as it is designed, is only half the story. If I go to my home screen, this is the new widget, which I've been waiting for ages. I love having news widgets on my home screen, and this is really nice. As you can see, it's a really slick sort of card interface that I can flick through, and it refreshes fairly regularly without me even having to press this refresh icon in the bottom corner. And of course when I click on a story, it takes me straight to that article inside the app. Now if you notice, it's got a really nice animation here of sliding away articles, just as it does when you're on a page or something and you reach the limit. You get this kind of blue highlight, which is really nice. And of course I can flick back the stories as well if I miss one. So combining this with the new design of Google Currents, I feel like it is definitely my best favorite reading app now, with the option to favorite and star articles to read later. It's definitely my favorite, and I recommend checking it out if you can. So that's Google Currents for Android. This is Barry from Copper vs Glass, and I'll catch you guys later.